Welcome to another War Masters workshop. Today we're going to be learning how to put a tinted or a tinting on your visor. So what we've already done is I've already cut out a visor from a welding shield. I measured this to fit my helmet, but I just cut it out with a pair of scissors after I did my measurements. No big deal. It was actually pretty easy. As you can see, I've left the film on here. We don't want to pull that off until she's ready to until it's ready to put the tinting on. But I went ahead and got all this cut out, so we didn't really need to show that. I've got that in a previous tutorial. And here we have a sheet of tint. Now you can buy tinting off Amazon. You can get a metallic tint. You can get all kinds of tint. This is just a clear, non-metallic orange tint. I didn't want to go too crazy with the metallic tint, mainly because I didn't want a bunch of reflections in the video, but it should actually give you can see it'll give the visor a really cool, almost copperish sheen. It won't really be metallic, but it will look, in my opinion, pretty neat. It'll give it a sort of an essence of copper. It's not going to be too crazy. We also have damp paper towels. You're going to need those. We have a squeegee. This is specifically for applying window tint. And then we have a squirt bottle of soapy water, and that's really all you need. We're also going to need an X-Acto knife. It's good to have that laying around. And we're also going to need some scissors. So don't want to forget these. So anyway, let's get started here. So the first thing we want to do is we want to cut our tinting so that it's ready to go on the piece here. So to do that, we got to be real careful with this because we don't want anything to be left on the tinting that might transfer over. So what I'm going to do is I flipped it over. Pull this down, you can see it. I flipped the T over, or the T-visor, and I'm just going to use my X-Acto knife, and I'm pressing down just to make sure that I get maximum pressure on this. And I'm just going to gently cut. There we go. Just had to pull that a little bit. There we go. So there we have our tint in the shape of our visor. We do have a little scragglies up here at the top, so we're just going to be really gentle with this. Cut those off with scissors. And here at the bottom, where we cut it earlier, there we go, just like that. All right, so let's move that out of the way. Those are just extra pieces there. Get them out of here. So this specific tinting is off of Amazon, and it actually has another layer. There's a clear protective layer on it that we need to take off. Bring this down a little bit. There we go. But you can see how it's got that sort of really neat copper look there, but that may change once we take this film off. So what we're going to do now is that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to peel this top layer of the film off on the welding shield or the visor. Alright, so that's off. So let's put this on and see. Oh yeah, that's cool. So you can see in the light there, see how it's got a nice sort of copper glow to it. Alright, so now that we know what it looks like, let's go ahead and get this on here. So I'm just going to peel that off. I'm going to go over this with my wet or damp paper towel, just to sort of clean off anything that's on here. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to squirt this down with some soapy water. And I'm going to leave it nice and wet. Then we're going to take our film here, and let me see if we can find a spot where the outer or the protective film is going to separate easy. If not, we do have a trick that we can use. Here we go. Okay, so just peeling off this protective layer here, because there's a sticky. Now there's sticky on this film, and we want to just very, very gently lay that over the T-visor, just like that. Bring this down here so you can see that. You can see it's down there nice. It's lined up nicely. So now that we've got it sprayed on the surface again with soapy water here, I'm going to just use the squeegee and pull all of that water out from underneath the T-visor, or between the T-visor and the tinting here. And if you have any air bubbles, which we do, you want to pull those towards the outside. See, right here's one. You want to get that towards the outside. We'll just keep pushing all those air bubbles out. And then on this side, alright, so there we go. So now that we've got our tinting applied, and it's applied nicely, there's no air bubbles, I'm just feeling over the top of it here. Oh, there's one right there. Looks like we might have a little bit of a contaminant. Again, it's the contaminants you got to be careful for, because once they're in there, if you let them go, you will never get this thing to be free of air bubbles. So what I do here is I'm just squeegeeing the water away, and that grabs those contaminants. And then we spray again. You can never have enough water when you're doing this. That's why it's always good to have a spray bottle with water. There we go. Now we're nice and flat. So now we're going to take our X-Acto knife, since we have all this water out from under here, and we're just going to trim up this edge. Make sure you have a sharp X-Acto knife. So a fresh blade, not a used blade. Alright, so we have all that trimmed off. Just going to move that over here. And one more time, Just going to spray this down. And squeegee all this down. Just like that. So here is our finished and fully tinted visor. Now, the actual tinted side that we use is on the inside when you put this in your helmet. The outside, at least as far as the clear tinting goes, the outside does not have the tinting on it. It's just the inside. So when you see this, I'm just going to use my phone's flashlight here. When you see this, it's going to look like, again, like before, it's going to look just like this. You can get that nice copper look, and that would be the case. It really wouldn't matter which side you put it on. It's going to have the same copper look each time. So let's put this in a helmet real quick and just see how it looks. We're just gonna just a demo install. So here I have my steel helmet. As you can see, I have no visor in it. It is not yet complete, so I don't have a visor in there yet. That's normally the last thing I put in. So I'm just gonna turn it up here so you can see what I'm doing. And I'm putting the side with the physical tint on the inside. I'm just bending it around here. It's really easy to do when you have a welding shield. And then I just slide it right there, right up into the T-visor, and push it into place. Now we flip it around, and there is our copper visor. That's what it looks like in a helmet. Raise the camera up a little bit more for you. There you go. And now I'm just going to turn the light on. See, there you go. You can see it's got that nice copper sort of look going on with the light. Now obviously you won't see your face through this. That's going to be impossible to do, because not only do you have a number 8 welding shield, but now you've got a tinted number 8 welding shield. But also, we can see how this looks. If we want to look and see how it'll look, there you can see so you got this nice copper look going on. So that's our tutorial for this month. So hopefully you have learned how to tint your own visor. I look forward to seeing what color visor you do for yourself. Thanks for coming out, and we'll see you next month in the War Masters Workshop.